on Dynamite, Shelton Benjamin got to have his AEW debut match against Leo Rush. I will say, aside, like there was a noticeable size difference between the two in terms of wrestling. Like Shelton is a.
It's a monster.
I didn't
A
realize
lot of
how
Leo Rush's matches, though.
I didn't realize how little Leo Rush was honestly until this match. But
He was next to Shelton Benjamin.
I think that may have helped because Shelton he was. Shoo! He hit him with the belly to back and he flipped over.
He was ragdolling, buddy.
He was
Shelton
ragdolling for
Benjamin
real.
sailing over there.
This is
His sailing is
this is one of the problems that I have with this happening with this John Moxley shit going on.
Because he can only go so far.
Because he can only go so far, and whatever you doing over there,
He can't touch it.
He's bigger than that.
But he ain't gonna be able to touch it.
But he can't touch it. Because when I see him on that screen, I'm like, yo, it's no way he shouldn't be over there busting John Moxley ass.
Right.
But the fact that you have something long-term plan with this, you can't put them together.
Right.
But I think that's good. I mean, you got to look. Shelton only got one win, one match on the roster, right?
Yeah.
And you know how they're supposed to. Their thing is you got to earn your way up.
But so
he about to be put on that track. I feel.
I do not see. Hold on, let me take a step back.
Good.
Shelton Benjamin looks this way. You haven't even seen what Bobby Lashley will look like on that screen.
I was thinking Lashley was going to be debuting last night. I really did.
And there can't be any, because they're gonna fuck all those plans up when you see them on that screen, and you like, yo, there's no way they shouldn't be busting. Like, I don't understand how Brody King and the House of Black aren't busting people's ass.
How can they though?
I'm just saying. I don't understand how they haven't bust people's ass for the last two years. But hold on. So with me seeing that, I do not see how you can keep Shelton Benjamin, because he looks like them to me, if that makes sense.
After the match, my immediate thing was him and Takeshita. Like
look at this.
No, again, Leo Rush got his ass handed to him in that match, and part of it's because Shelton is a bigger nigga who is also agile to the point where he can just sprint up the ropes and throw this little man off the top rope. Like, Shelton's he's a different being.
Yeah.
We talked to Kevin Knight, superior athlete. Like, this is the prototype right here.
This is the one time where I will say, and I'm not a big advocate of saying this, that somebody dropped the ball on something. When I sit and see, like, okay, you had the opportunities to do this. You had them with the mouthpiece.
Yeah.
They have them with the mouthpiece right here. Granted, this is only the first. This is the first.
It was a beautiful first, though.
Yo, this is crazy.
It was a beautiful debut for, cause even MVP after he threw Leo Rush off the top rope. MVP said, "Finish him! Stop playing with him and finish him!"
Here, dog.
The fire in his delivery, for real. I got the feeling like when Hurt Business was first really starting to do their thing on Monday Night Raw, just bruising people.
But I don't think we ever felt like that about Shelton in the Hurt Business.
No, it's different because Shelton is in a place where he could actually.
I think this is more of a place that fits who he is. So I don't know if I would call it like a fumbling as much as I would just say a nigga that's way more in ring than talking, but has the sheen on him that knows how to be on TV, knows how to take up space, knows how to come across on camera, not necessarily verbally, but this is a guy who's tailor-made to shine over there. I just don't think I don't know if WWE dropped the ball with Shelton as much as I think they got what their system was built to get out of Shelton Benjamin.
Right.
So or if we take a step back, because this is older Shelton Benjamin, like super polished, but still older. When my son was the gold standard, and in his prime, I would say that's his prime, right?
Yeah.
He didn't go. He only went this far. He had the ability to go here, but what happened? They cut him at the knees.
And I think part is because they didn't really like Fan was saying, the way their system is set up. He not one of them motherfuckers that should be advancing for them.
His glass ceiling is lower over there.
I'm
going to be honest. He still has a glass ceiling. I think he has
because of this shit.
Well,
I think he has the capacity to be on screen with any champion that exists in AEW. However, I'm assuming when Bob show up, it's like that Chrysler 300 pulls up next to the Phantom. So it's gonna be tough for him to shine in his own group.
He gonna start losing,
but
he gonna start losing. He gonna start being the fall guy for Bobby.
To who?
Everybody. He gonna be Claudio Castagnola to Jon Moxley. Together as a tag team, they probably dumb nice and kill people. But when it's time that you gotta fight Jon Moxley, guess who you gotta go through? Claudio Castagnola. At some point, you're gonna have to beat his ass.
I feel like the thing that they do with those guys, and that's one of the best things they can do over there is, you know what they do with guys like that, other than just like give them the Intercontinental. They send them to Ring of Honor and make them the Ring of Honor World Champion.
Fuck, they may. He's got time. He used to be down there. That could happen.
No, listen. When he was in Ring of Honor, we went down Dew Burns and seen this nigga, and he was bigger than everybody in the goddamn building.
Yo, he's huge.
But yeah, he's great. Shelton is great. I mean, it's a reason why they honored him.
Well, Ratless Steve said, "Be prepared to see him lose to Darby and Orange Cassidy." He was selling offense to Lio Rush. I mean, if we're talking about him being a big dude and looking bigger than compared to some people, him having to bend down for some of them cutters, those are some of the parts of the match I was like, some of this don't really. That's why I want to see him against somebody more his size.
We all know who his first loss is going to be.
Who, Will Ospreay?
Ricochet? Nah, he ain't gonna lose that.
So what they're doing, because what it looks like they're doing is they're building up a long-term story, and they're building it up. They're building the rungs of. They're gonna build these niggas up huge, and they're building these niggas to get climbed. They're gonna be all older niggas, and you know what's funny? We might see Lio Rush come back and join them niggas.
He gonna at least join Yamin.
And we might get that Lashley.
I thought that was going to happen this week. I thought that was going to happen when Lashley would come out, be beating his ass.
But I think they're building up a story to be topped by Swerve. I think that is what they building up to.
Him and Swerve wrestle in 2 weeks. They wrestle Fright Night Dynamite end of this month.
Sorry, I'm not watching that one.
He can possibly beat Swerve with shenanigans.
He's not losing.
He can beat Swerve with shenanigans, but he can't.
It's going to be with shenanigans. It's going to be that. May be the night Lashley debuts. Honestly,
that makes sense. It ain't gonna be straight up.
I could see Swerve getting the upper hand on Shelton, and then it's Lashley come out there and just demolish that nigga, and then they have because Full Gear is coming up in about a month. That's probably gonna be the match.
I'm lighting cigars when Lashley whip his ass.
You might have to watch Fright Night.
I'm not watching that shit.
You might have to. You might have to.